Good evening and welcome. You're watching this quiz in English with me, Hayley Edmonds, on Be The One. Now tonight we have a special guest, so I'm going to introduce to you, ladies and gentlemen, my very good friend Anne-Flore Marxer, freeride snowboard world champion, who has joined us today to talk us about your new film that came out in August, but you've kind of been around the world, you've done a kind of global premieres everywhere in the world really, haven't you? Because you went from Los Angeles to the Nordic countries so tell me about it. Give us a little brief introduction to your film, A Land Shaped by Women.
A Land Shaped by Women. I wanted to go to Iceland and meet the incredible Icelandic women. I went to Iceland with my friend Aline Buck in her van. We took the surfboards, the splitboards, the stand-up paddles. We went mountaineering on the Northern Lights. All this beautiful, beautiful travel with outdoor sports. And along the way, I tell the history of women in Iceland and I present the most incredible women we met along that journey. Right. And I get that beautiful surprise that the film was selected all around the world in more than 80 festivals all around, and it received so many prizes in festivals. And after this whole tour across Europe to show the film absolutely everywhere, I even showed it in Hollywood, places like
around
that.
The world, yeah.
And right now I am in Paris, and it's like the tip of the iceberg where I actually get the honor of showing my film next Wednesday, the 16th of January at 7:30 in the evening in Le Grand Rex.
And the Grand Rex is really the place, the theatre, where any kind of premieres are shown. So I look really forward to seeing that. So that's next week, next Wednesday at 7:30 in Le Grand Rex. If you're in Paris, come down. If you're not in Paris, how can we go about watching your film?
In a few months, let's say around March, you should be able to find it on VOD.
VOD.
Hopefully.
Perfect. Cross fingers. I look forward to seeing it, even though I've already seen it and it's good. So I highly recommend it. So, we're talking about your film and the snowboarding and the surfing. I thought, why not do a quiz on extreme films? Okay, these are a kind of exaggerated versions. They're all kind of Hollywood, a bit kind of big budget, which probably wasn't your case.
Not at all.
But so tonight there is €100 up for grabs. There are 9 questions to answer. For those of you who get more than 400 points, or you get your share in €100. For those of you who get maximum points, that's 960 points. Well, we give you an extra €50 to share amongst yourselves. How does one go about getting 400 or 960 points? Well, we give you 9 questions. Each question is allocated a certain number of points from question number 1, which is worth 10 points, right up to question number 9, which is worth 100 points. And to make it that little bit easier for you, because we just love giving money away, and Anne-Flore is going to be helping you out. She'll be giving some clues as well as to the answers. We give you 4 jokers, so 2 that will multiply the point score, 1 by 3, 1 by 5, and 2 50-50s that will take away 2 wrong answers. So let's get cracking with this quiz in English on extreme sports films. Okay, question number 1. Led by their crazy former professional motocross leader, which extreme film came out in 2012? Is it Nitro Circus, the movie? Is it The Greatest Showman? Is it Superman XXX? Or is it Mean Girls? Now, would you have a kind of, do you know the answer to that question?
Well, if we are talking about an extreme film, I can only think of, that event where they had loads of sports people like jumping on that same kicker, the one after the other, and this incredible show, and it went all around the world, and it's actually a beautiful, beautiful event to witness.
Yeah.
And I know there's all sorts of boards that were jumping those kickers, and some with motor and some without. There was skateboarders. It was even actually, there was even some awesome girls jumping those jumps too.
Absolutely, yeah, there are. And in fact, Lindsay Adams, you were in a film with her, weren't you?
Yes.
Called Stance.
And she's incredible. She's an incredible skateboarder, and she's an incredible woman. And I know that she's been traveling around with at least one of those 4 options you have on your screen right there.
So you can give the answer away. What is the answer?
Well, Nitro Circus?
Yep, led by Travis Pastrana, of course. We were just talking about his now wife. But yes, so the right answer is Nitro Circus, the movie. Statistically, 42% if you got that one correct. 19% if you thought it was The Greatest Showman. 23% if you thought it was Superman XXX, which incidentally is actually a XXX is the actual X in it. It's a porn film. So you're wrong. And Mean Girls, well, can you really imagine Lindsay Lohan? Was Lindsay Lohan? She could have been an ex-performer motocross rider, but she's not. There we go. Let's move on to question number 2. Complete the name, sorry to spell it, of this 1966 surf movie. The Endless Wave. The Endless Friendship. The Endless Beer. Or The Endless Summer. Now, it's an epic film. Have you seen it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It is the one film when you talk about surfing that it's the start of everything.
Absolutely. Are these kind of films inspire you when you're going out filming your film documentaries?
Not really. I have to admit, my film documentary is much of a hybrid. I think that's why it was so well received. Is that people had not really imagined travel in that way, in that sense, where I was actually doing our trip with outdoor sports, but I was especially talking about the Icelandic women for women empowerment and actually referring to that idea of gender equality.
And of course, the whole feminist movement, you start off with discussing the feminist movement, and then you kind of introduce yourself, or yourselves, with you and yourself, Aline Block, who is also a freeride snowboard champion. And it's kind of something I don't really think you'd expect that from, two snowboard champions to go out there and really kind of engage themselves in something quite political.
You can call it political. For me, it's just an interest, and also, the narrative in sports film has been the same one for so long. So in mountain films, you always had this story of those incredible, extreme weather conditions, and extreme mountains, and then those guys, they survived it, and they reached the top of the summit, and they're such heroes, and they talk about themselves, and they, and me, I was just a bit tired of seeing that story over and over again. And I pretty much had to ask myself, what is a female narrative to such a travel? Because if you always only talk about men and show men on screen, you pretty much tell all the girls and all the women out there,
they're not capable of doing that.
Yeah, it's not for you. It's too dangerous, it's too extreme. And then about, there's nothing that you need to be a guy to actually enjoy the surfing in the colder water, or camping on top of a mountain, or going stand-up paddling in the ice. Those moments are just magical, and that's why we do all those sports. And that's what I wanted to bring back, the magic.
And who more legitimate to kind of tell this story and this narrative than two freeride snowboard world champions? So good to hear. So complete the name of this surf movie, The Endless Summer, that's right. 52% of you got that one correct. 11% of you thought it was The Endless Beer. Okay, I suggest you stop drinking and start concentrating to try and win some money. Let's move on to question number 3. Who stars in the film XXX? Is it Hugh Jackman? Is it Ryan Reynolds? Is it Donald Trump? Or is it Vin Diesel? Who stars in the film XXX? Now, without seeing it, because I don't see it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You were going for Donald Trump. I can feel it. You were like, I would love to see Donald Trump. Donald Trump jump out of a plane without a parachute.
I'd rather never ever see Donald Trump.
Okay, so anyway, who do you reckon stars in the film XXX?
I have no idea. What do you guys reckon? Do you have
70?
people?
We do. 72% of you thought it was, and you're right. Vin Diesel is the correct answer. So there we go. You wouldn't have said him then. Who would you have said?
Am I allowed to say I don't care?
Okay. Let's move on to question number 4. And no, you're not allowed to say that. He wants stats. So as I said, 72% thought it was Vin Diesel, 7% thought it was Donald Trump. Could be another, kind of storyline for a next film, another Hollywood film. 10% thought it was Ryan Reynolds and 11% Hugh Jackman. Let's move on to question number 4. Which of these was the stuntman for Daniel Craig? I said Craig David in Skyfall. Is it, or was it Travis Pastrana? Was it Robbie Madison? Was it Evel Knievel or Tom Pages? Now this is really interesting. This is properly interesting. Have you ever seen Skyfall? I'm sure you're.
Yeah, I have.
And he actually does the scene in Turkey where he drives, he's on his motorbike, goes over the rooftops. Yeah, so who was it? Well, in fact, now you know because it's on our screen. But he's Australian. He is. He has a world record holder. The right answer is Robbie Madison. Now, Robbie Madison, it was all kind of a huge process of of setting up the stunts. And he said the only thing he was scared of was the fact that he did it all without a helmet.
That's great for him.
Well, not if he'd hurt himself.
No, but he can actually say it afterwards, so that means it
Yeah, of
actually
course,
did go well.
Yeah, he could say it in retrospect. So, yeah, as I said, the right answer is Robbie Madison, who said he'd had kind of a wig put on him and like green spots put on his face for CGI. Anyway, now you know. 20% if you thought it was Travis Pastrana, 16% if you thought it was Evel Knievel, and 23% if you thought it was Tom Pages. Baz83, you got that one correct, but you didn't put a joke down, my friend. However, 159 of you put your 50-50s down. Let's move on. You know, let's get into a bit of surfing here, because I know you love surfing. Stupid. I know you love surfing. Here's a question for you. There we go. Who played a young Kate Bosworth in Blue Crush? Was it Keala Kennelly? Was it Coco Ho? Was it Bethany Hamilton? Or was it Alna Blanchard?
That's actually a really good question, because this film actually puts thousands and thousands of girls in the water.
I know.
Brought so many women to actually get into the water and start surfing, and actually brings a really fun vibe to it. And it was actually a really cool film to come out and actually kind of pass the great vibes around surfing.
Of course.
And actually on the women's side, and that I really appreciated when it came out.
And they actually had real surfers, female surfers in it as well, which is good, because Keala Kennelly, it was her first acting role.
And it was great at the gas station saying, "Hi, girls."
We weren't interested in your acting. We just wanted to see you in the water, Keala. But she did a brilliant job. However, did you know that the young Kate Bosworth was played by Coco Ho?
It's funny because I had not actually realized it was Coco, even though I do know Coco and Keala. And now I have to watch it again.
Well, wasn't she your teammate on SWAT?
She is. Yeah.
So she's on the same team as Coco Ho, and she didn't know that Coco Ho.
I didn't
know that until like a few days ago either.
But I guess she must have been really young at that point.
Well, to play a young Kate Bosworth, who herself would have been about 25.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you mean someone like 15 years later.
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
That's.
So that was Coco Ho.
Yeah.
What do you know?
It's great.
Daughter of.
I will watch it again.
Yeah, do.
Yeah.
She is from the big Hawaiian surfing dynasty, Coco Ho, an outstanding surfer, and world tour surfer, and she's going out with Mark McMorrison. Mark Morrison.
Yeah, she loves snowboarding.
She does love snowboarding.
Uh-huh.
So statistically, 33% if you got that one correct. 21% if you thought it was Keala Kennelly. She played in it, but she didn't play the young Kate Bosworth. And 22% if you thought it was Alna Blanchard. Monia Kamal, you got that one correct. A lot of you put your 50-50s down. But, you know, I'd say try and keep them in your pockets until, well, at least from question number 7, where we're talking about some real big points and you can get some money. I'm keep on spinning on my screen. In question number 6, which actress played a BMX rider in the cult film BMX Bandits? Was it Drew Barrymore? Was it Sarah Jessica Parker? Was it Nicole Kidman? Or was it Kate Hudson? Who played a BMX rider in BMX Bandits? I'll give you 2 clues. It's an Australian film, and secondly, it came out in 1983. None of the other cast are actually that well known now. In fact, they've already gone to obscurity, but you have any idea who it could have been? In fact, you know, because you've got the result on the screen, but...
Oh, wow.
It was a close one.
That's interesting.
So yeah, it's actually Nicole Kidman. Back in her kind of big, boofy, lovely, beautiful, ginger, curly hair days. Talking about ginger. That flying tomato, how's he? 40% of you got that one correct. 20% of you thought it was Sarah Jessica Parker. 21% of you thought it was Drew Barrymore. And 19% Kate Hudson. Altura, you got that one correct. 500 of you got that one correct as well. Let's move on to question number 7. Jackass the movie came out in which year? Was it 2001, 2002, 2003, or 2004?
I like how you ask your questions and you look at me.
I'm kind of asking you as well. You know, can you give a little hand? Do you know who is one of the founders of Jackass? Do you know anyone from Jackass?
I don't know them personally. They were really fun to watch.
Johnny Knoxville?
Yeah. Well,
Do you know
not
that
personally.
he actually said that he wouldn't allow any women in his films.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was like, yeah, it happened once and she hurt herself, so I don't want to take the risk again.
Welcome to sports. Welcome to the world of sexism.
Sorry, just had to stick in the spokes. So the right answer is 2002. It came out in 2002. excuse me, 61% if you got that one correct, 11% if you thought it was 2001, and 16% if you 2003. Ahmed, you got that one correct. You were the fastest, so well done. Let's move on to question number 8. Next question. Which beach did Cameron Diaz surf at in Charlie's Angels Full Throttle? Why are you laughing? She did surf. She did her own stunts.
Yeah, didn't she?
Break her nose. Standing up. No, I'm joking. I'm probably better than me. Was it Surfrider Beach? Is it Malibu Beach? Is it Jaws or is it Venice Beach? Which beach did Cameron Diaz surf at in Charlie's Angels Full Throttle? You know the scene where she's coming out the water in her surfboard?
It would be so great to see
Jaws.
Cameron Diaz in Jaws. I would love to see that.
Don't think she's done her own
Can you
stunts.
please organise that for me, Hayley?
What are you doing? You're blonde, you'll do.
Well, we can imagine, you know, like it's a film, it's probably in Los Angeles, and
right.
what kind of beach can we find around Los Angeles?
Well,
and the
three
one
of them,
that we
four.
see really beautiful women
Why are you
running
doing
by the
this?
beach with those.
Why do this beautiful?
because the one, you know, with the really tight red bikini,
So,
one
can we
piece
say
bikini?
Baywatch was filmed there?
Something like that.
Maybe. The right answer is Malibu Beach. I don't know if your clues helped you get it right, but 58% of you did get it right. 10% of you thought it was Surfrider Beach. 13% of you thought it was Jaws. Something we'd all like to see. She's an avid surfer. She surfed. She went out with Kelly Slater.
Yeah, she did, but I don't think she wants to surf Jaws.
Would you ever surf Jaws? Would you ever surf Hawaii?
Well,
Anywhere in Hawaii?
I did surf in Maui, and it was incredible.
That's good. That's good.
But you know, to surf Jaws, you actually have to have a really great surf level in the first place, and it's such a massive waves, and there is
So
no
powerful.
chance for any sort of mistake there.
Yeah.
So
No room
you
for
want to be
error.
trained, you want to be secured, you want to be sure that you're on top of your game, because you know, like for most of the women to actually get a chance to surf for Jaws for the first time 2 years ago now, and we had Justine Dupont, and you had Kayla Kennedy, you had Paige Helms, you had such incredible surfers there, and it's beautiful to see, you know, what those guys can go do out there and really charge those massive waves.
Well, I spoke with her. Well, she came up in a question earlier. Bethany Hamilton. She actually surfed. I think it was Pipeline, if I'm not mistaken. She has one arm. Just to kind of put it out there.
She did surf Jaws, and I was there. And
Oh, okay. So there we go. It was Jaws. I thought it was Jaws.
It was Jaws.
So she surfed Jaws. She has one arm, and she'd given birth about a few months earlier.
Yeah, and she was actually breastfeeding in between the waves she was surfing. Not even kidding. She was surfing, and then she'd go back to the boat, and she had the baby, and then she'd go back in, and she'd be surfing again.
She is just outstanding. She is one of a kind. Let's move on to question number 9 in the roller derby film Whip It. Who played Bliss Cavender? In the roller derby film Whip It, who played Bliss Cavender? Do you ever tried roller derby?
It's so incredible. It's so awesome. It's so much fun, but it's also, it's full
Aggressive.
on. Yeah, it's full on.
I did it once.
But big props to all the girls that do roller derby. They're my heroes.
Right. They're all extreme.
I do have a pair of rollers though.
Do you?
Yeah, leopard ones.
I like Dennis Caesar.
La,
And
la, la.
I've got a brand new pair of roller skates.
And my mother does as well, and she does just that with my grandmother in the.
With 2 ski sticks.
My grandmother is in
National
her
team.
wheelchair, and my mom is in her rollers, and she goes all around the lake in Annecy, like passing around all the people,
Scooting
like
around like, hey, get out
Hi.
the way. Oh, hi.
So
No,
my mom-
I've got a, like in Malibu Beach. Was it Drew Barrymore, Kristen Stewart, was it Ellen Page, or was it Jessica Alba in the roller derby film Whip It, who played Bliss Cavender? Do you have any idea who it could have been? No? Well, I'm going to give you the answer to the final question of this quiz in English. It is Ellen Page. Yes, Ellen Page played Bliss Cavender in the roller derby film Whip It. That was our final question of this quiz in English. The fastest to answer was Mohammed Ibrahim. Well done, you. You also put your ×5 joker down, so playing strategically. I'm not sure. I'm going to have a look and try and see if you have won maybe your part in 100 or why not 150 euros. So, statistically, 437 of you will be taking home your part in 100 euros, which equates to 23 euros. However, there are 43 super winners tonight who will be taking home or putting in their Be The One bank €1.39. So well done you. Thank you very much, Anne-Flore, for coming in to Be The One. Thank you. It was great. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much, Hayley.
I look forward to seeing it at your premiere next week in Le Grand Rex in Paris.
I can't wait to see my film in your quiz and getting the question who went to Iceland in 2018 and which film won 11 awards and what was the greatest adventure of your life.
Are you up for an Oscar? You might come up in that, might appear in that. I'm doing a quiz like an Oscars in a few weeks' time, so who knows?
Great way to put a new challenge to it.
As you said, for those of you, how can we stay informed about your film? Where can we?
There is a website, www.landshapedbywomen, or on my social media. My name is Anne-Flore Marxer. And I'll be informing you whenever it comes out on VOD, and I get this beautiful chance to share this beautiful film with all of you in Paris next week on Wednesday at 7:30 at Le Grand Rex.
Look forward to it. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for playing It's Quiz in English with me, Hayley Edmonds on Be The One. I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, Alfonso will be up next at 9 o'clock with the quiz in Spanish. So see you then. Goodbye and have a great evening.